Hey everybody, welcome to my art studio today. We are going to be painting something really fun today for Halloween, Thanksgiving. It'll be fun to transform either way. Thanksgiving, Halloween. It's a white pumpkin, and the fun thing about the white pumpkin is that it's white and it matches a variety of decor. So you can put it with pretty much anything, and the fun thing too as well is the background is a different color. So you can do whatever color you want. You can do purples, blues, oranges, whatever you want for the background color to match what you wanted to do. And voila, perfect decor to take you from Halloween into Thanksgiving. And also you can change up the color of the pumpkin as well. So you don't have to make an orange or green normal side color pumpkin. You can do a pink, hot pink pumpkin, whatever you want to do. So let's get started painting this easy pumpkin, and you can see how easy and fun it is. Okay, you want to start with the background color. I'm going to start with this blue for mine. You have two different colors of blue, a light and dark, whatever you're doing, and then even a white on your palette. This is kind of what mine's going to start looking like. Get like a medium to big size brush and get it wet, dry it off, and we're just going to start taking these colors all over this canvas. I'm not doing a canvas today, I'm actually using a watercolor piece of paper. And you don't have to you don't have to do watercolors on watercolor paper. You can use it for anything. So kind of fun. Now this is a little too vivid for me, my color. So I'm gonna add some white in places to kind of calm down the color. And the fun thing is to make the paintbrush strokes. I tell you that a lot. Make sure that looks, you can see that it's strokey, paintbrush strokey. It gives it some fun personality to do that. Just cover your entire paper, canvas, whatever. Okay guys, simple pumpkin. Take a pencil on your now painted canvas. If you need to stop and catch up to that point, please do. What I'm going to show you this simple shaped pumpkin. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab your pencil and make a big oval shape like this on your canvas. Okay, can you see that pencil mark? Make it a little bit darker so you can see it better. You can make it as dark as you want because your white paint is going to cover this. Okay, ooh, I scratched it, that's okay. Then you're going to come down a little bit from the tip, just down a little bit. You don't want to be right next to the tip. And make a big bubble to the side of it. Okay, and I kind of like to make my pumpkins a little squatty, so they have a little bit of a bum right on this side. Not fun. And then same thing on this side. A little bit bummy on this side. And you're not going to come all the way down to the bottom on this as well, okay? It's not going to come and meet, your point doesn't come here. It comes kind of up into your pumpkin a little bit here. Then you're going to do another one, which is kind of off the top again, and then this one I guess will be the smallest of the three. No, okay, move down a little bit too much, so right there. Come off the top and squatty on the bottom. There's our fun pumpkin shape. Okay, it's kind of just got these little scoops next to your big main oval scoop, if that makes any sense. Big scoops. There's the basic shape. Now we're going to paint it in white. So grab your big paintbrush again, and we're just going to fill that whole thing in. Now you might lose your pumpkin lines that you did, but hopefully you can see them well enough. I turn my paintbrush kind of on this chisel edge, which means you paint with this side, with the edge of it more, and it gives you a sharper edge when you're painting along the edges. So just kind of a heads up on that one. Grab some more paint over here. See, I'll turn my paintbrush like this, and it will give me kind of a sharper edge just right where I need it to go. And I just fill in the rest. Okay, when you're filling in, you can fill it in however which way your paintbrush strokes is going to do. Like I'm going sideways here. But when you go to finish your pumpkin, make sure, not finish like the white part of it. I'm going to just fill in the whole thing in like this. Make sure that you bring your paintbrush strokes up and down like this, because that is the way that a pumpkin would look. It'll help it to look more realistic. Okay, I painted in white there. Okay, once you get that basic painted in, Kind of fun. We are going to come back and draw our pencil lines back kind of on it where we thought, where they kind of disappeared. Rinse out your brushes. Always rinse out those brushes. Make sure they're clean. Okay, so come back in. Draw kind of your shapes back on again. I'm kind of losing my white. It's just the paint that's kind of peeling up because I'm not really drawing with the pencil lead. I'm just scraping off paint is what I'm doing at this point. Okay, kind of draw those shapes back on just to give yourself an idea of where they went. And then you know that last one. Okay, so my pencil lead is kind of white with paint. Just wipe that off. All right, now we're gonna get two grays of some sort. Mine is this lighter apple barrel granite gray and the darker apple barrel pewter gray. Put those out on your canvas or on your palette. I have this little plate from my palette today. And get kind of a smaller size brush like this, smaller flat brush. We're gonna dip in the light gray and just kind of run it behind. And I like to turn that around so that I can get to it. Doesn't look like a pumpkin at this point. So I'm just gonna kind of pull this gray all the way down this side. And it's not on my top part, it's like behind it. That's the trick, is to make it look like a shadow from the front pumpkin piece. And once I get that gray line on there, I just kind of rub it out into the other one and it shadows it a little bit. See how that happened? I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. Just kind of take your paintbrush. Hope I picked up a little bit of dark on that. That's okay, because we'll put dark back up in there. And we just run it along that line, kind of close to the line, doesn't have to be perfect. And then kind of rub it back out into this way, this direction, from the circle for the main part of your pumpkin. Okay, if you get too much gray, guess what? Super easy, put a little bit more white back on it. And kind of feather that out into this other space. Okay, those two, finished, finished. Now we're gonna turn it this way, do the same thing. Run it behind that main pumpkin part. And anytime you're messing up, we can fix it. Don't feel like you've met, like right here, there's a lot of blue that was pulled up and I'm not gonna paint that in gray. Give it a few minutes, I'll come back and I'll just paint it in white and it will be covered and you won't even see it. Okay, you're smearing that gray into this pumpkin section behind the front pumpkin section. And then we'll do this side. See if I could do it upright, up straight for you guys. Okay, like that. Just gonna smear that down the edge of there. And then you just feather it into that section of the pumpkin. Okay. So you've created this little shadowing behind the ribs of that pumpkin. That's what you've done. And it's already starting to take shape of the pumpkin. The better, my opinion, is the more chunky paint you have on there, the funner it is. The more texture, the more pumpkin-y. A lot of paintings, actually, not just a pumpkin. If you've messed up places, just kind of come in with some white on top of it, on the side that would stick out, and touch those up. So like here, touch that up right there. See that part I was telling you about, the blue, just come in with a little bit of white, covers right over it. It's like magic. Okay, like that. Now let's create some fun dark shadows underneath, okay? So we're gonna take the darker gray and we're gonna kind of run it right at the bottom of our pumpkin. Okay, right in here. And then kind of direct it to come up through this like it's a shadowing up there. Okay, same here. Let's do only a few at a time because otherwise our paint will dry. I won't be able to work with it as well. So we're going to put this little bit of darkness in there. Okay. Now we're going to kind of get some white on the same paintbrush. I hadn't really wiped it out yet, just kind of kept the same dark in there. And I'm just smearing it up into the rest of it, but leaving a lot of the dark on the bottom there. If you lose some of the dark, add some more dark on like this. I'm gonna add some more dark on. I kind of smeared into that white. And that is going to give us some fun, really dark parts of the pumpkin. Okay. And then you're going to want to have that dark show up really good against this. So make sure you're emphasizing that line there with your dark. A little too much, take it off. Okay. See those fun textures, that paintbrush stroking in there? I love that because it just adds to the texture and the fun of the pumpkin. Okay, let's come into the middle section here and do the same thing. Put some dark down there. Can you see that? My hand in the way. Put some dark right on the bottom. Real dark along the real bottom, because that's the darkest spot, obviously. Okay, and this part you didn't put any shadowing on, the main part, so just make it a lot lighter using the white once you get up to a certain point. The bottom, of course, will be dark, but you're just dragging that up. Get some more white on my palette. Come on, white paint. There we go. And smearing that into that. You might need to take off some of your gray paint to make it a little whiter. I think I got lots of gray, so I'm just going to wipe it off on my paper towel. Come in with some more white and kind of soften it. And like I said, chunky is fun. Make sure you get some chunky. I love the streak work on there. Okay, that kind of, the darker disappeared, so I'm going to come in with a little bit more dark again and just kind of make sure we can see that dark at the bottom there. And here you've lost that line as well, so we'll just come in with a little bit more dark right there. See that? And kind of just pull that out so that we know that there's a line there. This is a distinct spot that we're changing. Then we're going to do it on this side as well, okay? So just a little dark right in there along the bottom. Then pull it up. Add some white in there. White textures. We've lost our little line here, so come back in with a little bit of dark just along that line with your chisel edge, your sharp edge of your paintbrush, and it will come back, that dark will come back and give you a shadow again. Okay, get some of that chunky stuff up in there. Nice. Same thing here, start with the darks along the bottom. Smear it up. Make sure you get right behind that guy so you can see that difference between those pumpkin sections. And then from there, we just add some more white and smear it up. Making sure to get a lot of the texture in there. Texture just is, you know, by letting a lot of the paint just stay on your palette, on your canvas, or on your paintbrush, or on your whatever you're working on. Paper, canvas, wood, whatever you're doing. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing at the top. A little bit lighter though, so dark's always, the bottom's always the darkest. Just come in with a little bit of dark at the top. Just a little bit on these ones to give us some the same idea. Okay, across all, you can probably do all these at once if you're feeling confident after that bottom. And then kind of get some white on there and smear that darker color down, just to give it some distinct differences. Okay, we've lost a little section here, so what I'm going to do is just come back in with a little bit of dark. Kind of put it behind that pumpkin section like we talked about. And then smear in to the rest of it. Okay. And you're basically just layering it on until you think it looks good. Okay. Layer the paints on there until you think, well, that looks all right. It looks like a pumpkin. It looks like what it should look like. This is going to be a little darker here. I'm going to add a little darkness to that. And then add that to be a little bit more whiter in front. I want that to stand out in front of that one. See how I did that? A little darker behind, a little lighter in front. Okay, and that one can barely have any dark on it because it's just right shining in the front. Okay, you guys, that is basically our pumpkin shape. Let's give ourselves a little stem, and then a stem is the same gray colors. I'm just going to add a little bit of brown to it. I got kind of a sandy brown color that I'm going to add. Just play with it. Okay, I'm playing with it a little too much probably. But I'm going to add this little khaki brown color. And I'm just going to do a dark gray stem, and the stem is just going to kind of come up. You can draw it with pencil, or you can be brave and just do your paintbrush, but it comes up, obviously, and gets smaller at the top kind of thing, right? It's not just a square handle. It's going to have some sort of a shape. Fill it in with your dark gray, because we're doing mostly grays here in this pumpkin. You could leave it a dark gray if you like that. Okay, or you can add a little bit of this brown in spots just to kind of give it this khaki color. I'm just taking my paintbrush and just tapping it in spots. Give it some shadow by adding a little bit more of that dark gray that we started with. Isn't that fun? So we're just making texture on it. Basically just taking my brush and tapping. Okay, I'm gonna get a little smaller brush now. Smaller, smaller, smaller. And I'm going to create, let's see what brush I'm gonna do. Let's do this guy. A little round brush. I'm going to create a little top. Put a little round noggy at the top here. Noggy, that makes no sense. A little piece of the top so it looks like it's a stem. Just touch it a couple times to make it look like it's a round stem. And then you can add a little swirly off of it if you want to do something like that. Okay. Make a circle out of it. You can make a little swiggly. This little bit of a mistake that comes up makes it look more realistic, I think. So don't be afraid of mistakes, okay? Yeah, then touch it up a little bit more to get that little knobby on top to see that. And then right here, if you've missed up some of your white on there, just touch it up just a little bit where the stem had come down into the pumpkin. Okay. I have to do a little bit of gray in there. But you've got this beautiful shape. Fun. Let's get a little bit more gray. Pumpkin that you can put into a frame, and it's fun because it matches any decor. Because it's white and it has that blue background or that whatever color background you want to have. That is a fun, simple pumpkin. All right, you guys, finished results in a frame. It always looks better framed, doesn't it? This is just on the watercolor paper in a frame. Don't even have to do it on a canvas, but look how pretty that is. I can put it with anything, any decor of mine that kind of accents this blue color, and it goes with anything. Isn't that the funnest? Close up, bing. Look at all the chunky details of that pumpkin. So much fun. I hope you guys had fun painting it with me today. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and share this video with others so they can enjoy it as well. We'll see you next time. Bye.